Hi guys, welcome to my channel where we talk about everything from tech to films and all the fun stuff in between. In today's video, let's look at all the cool features that you immediately need to try as soon as you've installed iOS 14 and or iPadOS 14. Yes, iPadOS 14 guys, and not iPadOS 2. Think Apple wants to keep both the iOS and iPadOS version numbering system in sync. So that's why it's called iPadOS 14. So this really is a pretty big update to Apple mobile and tablet operating system. And I haven't been this excited about a software update since Johnny Ive flattened iOS with a newer, cleaner look a couple of years ago. So here are a couple of cool things to check right away. Some are hidden a bit. Even I had to go through the manual to find out how to get to them. So hoping that this video will help you guys. Just before proceeding, please do subscribe to my channel guys and show your support so we can keep going with all the amazing videos and gadget reviews. First, before looking at the features, let's look at the new stock wallpapers. If you're a fan of Apple stock wallpapers like me, then you'd be pleased to know that there are a few new ones, especially the ones which we saw at WWDC. It's a shame that Apple doesn't give us more, but I'm still happy to see the new ones. It makes the phone feel new. On with the cool features list. The first one obviously is the widgets. This is the biggest change yet, and this is the one which makes the home screen look different since, well, the first iPhone. In order to get to the widgets, you have to long press and hold on your home screen and go into jiggle mode. I didn't make that up guys. Apple actually calls it that and even mentioned it in their documentation. So once in jiggle mode, hit the plus icon on the top left hand corner and this brings up the widgets palette. You got several to choose from like clocks, photos, calendars, news, and when you choose one, it gives you different size options. There's a square tile view, a wider rectangle view, and then there is a bigger card display. And as soon as you choose one, it appears on your home screen and you can see how your apps get reorganized to fit in this new shape. You can pretty much have an entire page full of widgets if needed. There is also a custom curated one called Smart Stack, which clubs a few apps together. Some of these widgets will allow you to customize them. Like for instance, you can long press on the news app and choose the topic of news which you want to see. Pretty neat, right? However, I don't see a lot of widgets available yet. Actually, if you have checked the news, then the sudden release of the iOS 14 software update is making developers rush and scramble in order to make their app ready for iOS 14. So you will be seeing more of them soon. Next one is the ability to hide home screens. So if you have any unwanted home screens which are just lying there and you don't use it very often, then you can hide it now. Again, long press to go into the jiggle mode and tap on the pagination icon. You know, these dots icon at the bottom of your screen. This will take you into a screen like this from where you can select, unselect pages which you don't want. And once you have hit done, that page will be hidden. You can always go back to that menu and bring back the page again. Which brings me to the next point, app library. All apps, including the ones which are hidden within the pages, will also be available in this new app library section. To get to it, you just need to swipe right from your last home screen. Apple automatically organizes your apps based on the category which they belong to, and it does a pretty decent job. There is search on the top of the page to find apps quickly, and when on the search menu, you also get this alphabet scroller on the left like you do with the contacts. Next feature is picture-in-picture. Android has been gloating this feature forever, and we finally get it on iOS as well. I've seen many apps that don't support this yet, especially YouTube, but the ones that support it, it works perfectly fine. You just need to start playing the video and swipe to go home. The video keeps playing in this hovering window on top and allows you to continue doing other tasks. You can resize it or even swipe to a side so that it's out of your view. But you can still get the audio playing in the background. Pretty neat, right? And then hitting on that small Windows icon onto the corner will take you back into the normal playing mode. Next is the ability to change the default mail and browser app. Guys, there is no dedicated section in settings here, so even I was a little confused on how this works. What you need to do is first update the email or browser app which you wish to use as default. So you need to make sure that you have the latest version running of that app. Then you need to go into the app from settings section. And then you'll see this new option called default available. In my case, I went to Chrome settings, so you can see I get the option to choose the default app for my browser from here. Not sure why Apple didn't include a dedicated section, as this would be much more straightforward. And some apps, I don't think they are ready yet. For example, I use Yahoo Mail app, and the app, even if you look at the settings, it doesn't have this new option. Next is a nifty little cool trick called double tap or triple tap. This is a cool little shortcut which is available in the accessibility section. So in order to configure, you need to go into settings, then to accessibility, then to touch, and then choose back tap. Here you can customize the actions which you want to perform both on double tap and triple tap on the back of your iPhone. If you see here, I've got double tap set to go back to home and triple tap to take a screenshot. So if I double tap, it goes to home. It is a little fiddly and doesn't work all the time, but as you can see, double tapping will take you back to the home and triple tapping will take a screenshot. There are a couple of commands here which you can choose as needed, but I feel that there are a few more missing, like camera or even opening a certain app or something. But maybe you can use the shortcuts app to program your desired action and then choose it that way. Next is Siri. It doesn't hijack the entire screen now, but it shows up as a small bubble and displays information in these cards view. Same is with calls. They show up just as a card on the top without interfering the entire screen. Next is Translate app. Similar to Google Translate, you can either speak or type and get the translation in other language. And if you turn the phone into landscape, it shows the text side by side. So you can have full-blown conversations without knowing a single word of the other language. It also plays back the translation using voice, so you can not only read but also hear the other language. The language library is not extensive, especially I don't see even a single Indian language appear here, but think this will be added in future. Then you got few more memojis and animojis, especially that face mask one, properly apt for the times. And then the most useful one, Emoji Search. If you're like me, then you would have scrolled through pages of emojis trying to find the one you need. Thank God now you have a search functionality and it brings the right ones. Not just the right ones, but it also brings the related ones. This really is so useful. Next, the entire operating system is doubling up on privacy. So if you use any app that uses camera or microphone or your pictures, you get this green dot on top notifying you the same. On Safari, if you tap on the A icon in the address bar, you get a privacy report which shows you all the tracking scripts which were blocked. Pretty cool, right? Next, let's move on to the iPad. I will cover only exclusive features of iPadOS, as some of the features like minimal view or Siri, calls, they all work the same on iPadOS 14 as well. The iPad's update is not as drastic as the iPhone's. For some reason, the new Widgets menu is only restricted to the left-hand Today's View section on your first homepage, which again will open only in landscape mode. On portrait mode, you have to swipe from the left to bring it into view. You get the same widget customization and Smart Stack options, but not sure why Apple doesn't allow you to place the widgets anywhere you like, similar to the iPhone. The biggest changes of the iPadOS come to the Apple Pencil. These updates make the Apple Pencil even more useful and essential and helps in terms of productivity. First is Scribble. Now in any form field or address bar, you can just write text and it converts it into typed text. So you can just write anything in Safari address bar and it just converts into typed text and off you go. Same goes with any forms. I think this could be really helpful if you find it boring to fill in lengthy forms. You can now use your Apple Pencil to write stuff onto forms and it converts it properly into typed text. And then there are a few more gestures like crossing off to delete, drawing a horizontal line to select text, and drawing a vertical line to either join or split words. iPadOS also recognizes shapes. All you have to do is draw the shape and hold it for a second and it gets converted into the perfect shape instead of your scribbly drawing. Next, most of the Apple apps now have side menus. It perfectly makes sense as it better uses the bigger screen real estate of the iPads. So everything from photos, files, music now has the side menu and you can use that to navigate within the app. And then finally, you get Windows-like options on the Files app. So using this button on the top, you can now change the view of the icons into list, columns view. But more importantly, you can reorder the contents of that folder based on size, name, tags, kind, and the most useful one, date. Using the small arrow on the side of the date, you can even do it ascending or descending. Maps also does get important updates like showing cycling routes or routes along with EV chargers for your Teslas and electric cars. And messages also get some cool options like pinning messages, grouping, mentioning, inline replies, etc. And finally, AirPods. If you have the AirPods Pro, you get spatial audio. I don't own a pair, but I spoke to a friend who has one and he says it sounds amazing. For other normal AirPods users, we finally get the feature where it pairs automatically when you switch devices. This is super useful as before when you switch devices, you had to go into the control center and select the AirPods in order to pair it with that device. But now it happens automatically and it switches between devices. So that's all the cool ones you need to check right away after installing iOS 14 or iPadOS 14, guys. Do let me know in the comments if I have missed anything or tell me what your favorite one is. I will also be doing a hidden features video soon, so please be subscribed to my channel, guys, and show your support. That's all for now. Thanks a lot for staying with me until the end. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.